The man glanced at the spoon in his hand absent-mindedly. Suddenly, he fell into deep thought. Seeing that the guard didn't seem to notice, he conceived a bold idea. He quietly lowered his head. Deliberately, he rubbed the spoon against the sole of his shoe a few times. He called over the guard. As the guard approached, the man said the spoon was too dirty and requested a new one. At the same time, a fellow inmate nearby wanted to inquire about work. The guard thought it was just a coincidence and paid it little attention. When the two reached the front desk, the man handed the dirty spoon to the guard. Then he took a new one from the box. The guard's attention was drawn to the talking inmate. In fact, the man had taken 2 spoons. This very object would become the key to his escape. After returning to his cell, the man began preparing. He first placed a bundle of matches in the center of a metal box. Next, he broke the spoon and disassembled the nail clipper. Using a file, he ground off the aluminum coating from a coin. He combined the spoon handle with the metal piece from the nail clipper. Finally, he sprinkled on the aluminum powder. Once everything was ready, the man turned off the light. He ignited the kindling inside the metal box. The aluminum powder quickly reached an intense temperature, successfully welding the 2 pieces of metal together. Once the temperature cooled completely, a life-changing escape tool was finally ready. He moved the box away from the wall and began testing the tool's power. The rate at which he chiseled the wall was several times faster than before. He accelerated his movements, completely oblivious to the surroundings. Meanwhile, a fellow inmate on lookout began dozing off. Fortunately, another prisoner suddenly stood up and greeted the guard. It was this faint sound that successfully alerted the drowsy lookout in time. He grabbed a water cup and started tapping it against the cell wall. The man finally noticed the movement. He quickly got up and repositioned the box to block the vent. Then he poured the crushed stone powder into the toilet. By the time the guard arrived, the man was back on his bed. In the end, the guard found nothing unusual. However, he didn't leave immediately. The man was terrified because his escape tool had fallen to the ground. He had no choice but to mask his fear and talk to the guard calmly. Finally, the guard left. The man then resumed having his companion stand lookout. He started chiseling at the wall again. In this way, he successfully removed the wire mesh. Next, he stretched his head through the opening. It led directly to the top of the prison. Now, all that remained was to enlarge the hole for a successful escape. Each cell was this small. If an inmate disappeared, the guards would surely notice. At this moment, the man came up with another clever idea.